do you throw the hook punch? Now, when I ask this question, I'm not asking the technical breakdown of the hook punch. What I'm asking, what I actually mean is, how do you throw the hook punch? Because there's no set definitive way to throw the hook punch. Now, we understand the mechanics of the hook, okay? You do have to pivot your lead foot, turn your lead hip over, and the punch itself should not drop and then come back up top. So you shouldn't throw the hook punch like this, but you should throw the hook punch like this. Now I noticed, or if you noticed, that the punch didn't come out exactly the same way. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. So there are primarily two methods in which the hand comes out when you're throwing the hook punch. One method is, it's a method I've learned from Coach Anthony when it comes to, we talk about stirring the pot. It's the standard way of throwing the hook punch where I'm here. Then, to give you a full body view, just in case you can't see my feet. So when I throw the hook punch, once again, I don't drop here and leave myself wide open. And with any circular punch anyway, you're leaving yourself wide open, any circular strike. So what I'm not going to do is come here and then bring my hand up top and throw the hook. I'm right here. The moment I throw the punch, I'm forming a circle, a half a circle from my jaw to my opponent's jaw. So I'm here, this way. And then when I reset, it's like I'm stirring a pot. It's like, imagine you're cooking like a large pot of, I don't know, like gumbo, maybe oatmeal or something like that. And this is how, and you're just stirring. This is what you're doing. You're stirring. You're stirring every single time. But there's a second method also in which you have the palm down. So think of, for example, you're cutting someone. So if I'm here and I'm cutting my opponent, it's like when I throw my punch, it's like I'm slashing a knife across their face. Here. Okay? Here. You see that? Here. Now obviously I'm still aiming for the jaw. I'm aiming primarily for their chin. Let me put the knife away real quick before I cut myself. I already did, as for those of you who don't even see the Band-Aid. You ever cut yourself and didn't realize you cut yourself until you found out you cut yourself? Yeah, it was that type of experience. But anyway, so imagine once again, I'm slashing my opponent with a blade. Here. Okay? Now some people with that same motion, they aim the punch in a downward motion. Meaning the punch still comes out this way, but what they're doing is the punch comes out and it comes out that way. So you have essentially three ways of throwing the hook. Starting the pot, slash, and then you have a downward slash. Okay? So it's really just an issue of preference. Now, the technique still has to be the same. For example, let's go to the aqua bag. I'm here. When I throw the hook, with my palm facing me, stirring the pot, I come here, boom. Just like that. All right? Boom. I want to make sure that both my feet are facing the exact same way. Okay? The lead foot pivots, the lead hip turns, and there's also the option of pivoting the lead foot. But as long as you get that rotation in your hips that generate that power, that's where you'll be able to actually, when you hit, that's where that comes from. And you should, it's actually preferable to pivot the lead foot when you're throwing that hook. So it doesn't matter what discipline it is, as long as you're pivoting that lead foot, as long as it's a combination of pivoting the lead foot and turning your hips as well. So once again, here, starting the pot and return. Notice I'm not dropping and then coming here. I don't even want to slightly drop and then come here. I'm going straight in. Boom. Boom. And it's the same thing if I'm doing the hook like I'm slashing my opponent with a knife. I'm here, boom, 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 boom. Right, I'm going downward. So once again, I'm here, boom, boom. It's like I'm throwing an overhand when I throw the hook that way. Here, boom, 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 boom. The same thing works with the rear hook as well. So once again, if I'm throwing the rear hook, I can stir the pot. Now, this time I pivot the back foot. And once again, the same rule applies. So if I'm throwing the lead hook here, you see how both my feet face the same direction, and I'm turning my hip. When I throw the rear hook here, both my feet, when I pivot this back foot and bring the rear hip forward, both my feet are facing the same direction. So once again, stir the pot. Now come slash. Right, and come downward. So when the question is presented, how do you throw the hook? That's how you should answer it. Either you're stirring the pot, you're slashing, or you're coming overhand. Just my thoughts on your preference when it comes to throwing the hook punch. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, train daily.